Chavez turns as an open book for Ray Leonard. Backs up against the ropes.
This is one of the most unusual calls by a referee in the history of the sport. The first loss.
A tremendous victory. Leonard fighting off the ropes.
It happened. It happened. Uppercut by Douglas. Down goes Tyson. Wilson, right hand shot. Leonard knocks out by Tyson.
Slumps to the canvas.
The champion struggles to stay on his feet.
How do you like it? How do you like it?
There are fights where you lose your prime in a single bout.
When you fight a fight like that, you are never the same. A piece of you stays there.
The accumulation of punishment was brutal.
It destroyed him as a fighter. It ruined him.
After that, it all was on the downside. That loss did it.
The one thing that he should have gotten was the satisfaction of the victory, because he beat him for 35 minutes and 58 seconds.
Chavez was 66-0, the quintessential Mexican fighter. Take three to land one. Wear you down with his relentless aggression and toughness.
He was the workman. He was the plumber. You know, Meldrick was the guy driving the Jaguar, and Chavez pulled up in an SUV. But then he might run over your Jaguar with the SUV.
People wondered who could get to Julio Cesar Chavez. And most people believed that if anybody was going to do it, it would be Meldrick Taylor.
For people who like to follow boxing, this is what you live for. Two great fighters, same weight class, both in their prime. Boy, it had everything.
It was a stylistic matchup. It was a nationalistic matchup.
The multi-million-dollar bout was scheduled for March 17, 1990, at the Las Vegas Hilton. But it didn't take long for something to get in the way.
Every referee in the world, oh man, can you imagine how much you dream, how much you just pray that you can get this assignment.
Every so often in boxing, two landmark talents are brought together in a match of risk and reward unlike any in recent memory. Tonight in Las Vegas, such a meeting between Julio Cesar Chavez and Meldrick Taylor.
It was one of those fights that ringside people, boxing insiders, were hungry to see it.
It's our great pleasure at HBO Sports to bring you what we call and what other experts have called the greatest little fight money can buy. A bout between two extraordinarily talented, undefeated champions whose styles seem to be perfect foils for one another.
Whoever won this fight was going to be at that moment the spotlight of everything below the heavyweight division in boxing.
It was in the ballroom at the Las Vegas Hilton. That building held 9,200 people, and I would say about 7,000 were people from the Culiacan neighborhood.
So in the past 50 years, no professional boxer has begun a career and sustained unbeaten success for as long as has Julio Cesar Chavez.
Meldrick Taylor is really up for the fight.
The familiar Lou Duva and his lieutenants will lead their charge, Meldrick Taylor, out of his dressing room.
We all thought that he would win the fight because he just threw too many punches.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
I was really thrilled to be selected for this fight.
And your referee is Richard Steele.
I know that Julio Cesar Chavez has never fought a fighter like Meldrick Taylor.
Chavez's eyes are focused on the midriff of Meldrick Taylor. He is thinking body from the outset.
Taylor was unintimidated by the pressure. Chavez was just a target, moving into his range.
Taylor lands a vicious right hand. Look at the speed of Meldrick Taylor's flurry. Brilliant stuff from Meldrick Taylor.
The drama in this fight early on was that Taylor was dominating a terrific fighter.
Taylor, still trading 4 blows to 1 for Chavez.
Nobody expected that to happen.
With the first 4 rounds, Meldrick Taylor would appear to have built an early lead.
Boxing. Moving. Punches in bunches. His fluid hand speed and combinations. Clearly reminiscent of Ray Leonard at his best.
Whoa, beautiful
Trading punches inside, and Chavez again seems to wobble slightly as Taylor lands at will.
The hand speed of Meldrick Taylor was superior, totally superior, and nullified the offense of Chavez.
He's been doing what he needs to do. Just boxing, using speed.
Taylor was way ahead.
And as round 5 comes to a close, Meldrick Taylor throws his gloves skyward in celebration of his performance so far.
He was winning the fight.
Now you're boxing beautiful.
There's no doubt in anybody's mind. This is why we try to hold him up a little bit and slow him down.
Now just settle down, settle down. Don't let the guy carry it too fast.
Because we saw the fight maybe going into the 12th round, and we wanted to hold him back a little bit so he had enough to turn it on in case he needed it.
But through the middle rounds, Taylor showed no signs of slowing down.
It's hard to imagine Taylor being more effective. Hard to imagine him doing a better job of rising to the biggest occasion of his career.
Even Chavez's staunchest supporters were in shock.
The Meldrick Taylor was dominating Chavez for 9-10 rounds. Even the Chavez corner said, come on, do it for your family, for your sons, for everybody, for your country. You're losing the fight.
Un esfuerzo más, Julio, por tu familia. For your family, Julio.
They know how desperate the situation is.
Here was an unbeaten young champion fighter fighting the fight of his life against one of the greatest fighters in the sport, and I thought that he won the first 9 rounds of the fight.
You're in the middle of the 9th round of a classic performance by a young fighter on the threshold of greatness. Taylor may well have won every round.
I thought that Taylor was decisively winning the fight. I thought he was really giving Chavez a boxing lesson.
It was clear to almost everyone that Taylor was giving a virtuoso performance. But it was clear to one man that something else was happening.
I knew that Meldrick Taylor was winning the fights because he was landing 2-1. But at the same time, I saw Julio Cesar Chavez landing these hard punches, hard shots, shots that would break bones. Most of the audience didn't know how much of a beating that this young man was taking.
It's incumbent on Taylor not to give Chavez an unnecessary chance to get back into this.
We started to see very gradually that there was a shift. Taylor was landing punches, but Chavez was starting to land more hurtful ones.
There is swelling around both of Meldrick Taylor's eyes.
You were giving him round after round, and then you looked up and said, what happened to this guy? It looked like he'd been hit by a windmill.
Taylor beginning to look more the worse for wear than the action of the bout would have led you to believe, though.
I think Julio was turning the tide. I still don't think he was winning rounds, but he was punishing Meldrick physically from the middle rounds of the fight on, and that ultimately was going to tell the tale.
Chavez finally seizing the initiative for the first time in round 10, and for the first time there's a mild air of danger for Meldrick Taylor.
He knew he was losing the fight, but he also knew that he was extracting a cost for Meldrick Taylor to win each one of those rounds.
Blood again from the mouth and the nostril.
The issue became, can I get him before they say the fight's over?
As round 11 comes toward a close, and Taylor was woozy and almost went to the wrong corner.
Finally came down to the 12th round, and he was winning the fight. Sure, he got hit some shots, but he was in condition, and we tell him in the corner, look, this is the last round.
No, this is the last round. The whole fight is right now.
But the advice Lou Duva remembers offering, and what was actually said in the corner, differ just a bit.
Move, move, move. Dance, 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 you know? I mean, make believe you're Muhammad Ali out there. Have a little fun out there. But don't fight.
You need it now. You need this now.
You're winning the fight. You don't have to fight the 12th round.
No, the fight is hanging on this round here, Mel. This is okay, champ. This is the last and final round. Now, you want to be champion of the world?
His corner was telling him, it's close. You got to go out there and fight.
The fight is hanging on this round here, Mel. This is okay.
It wasn't even close. I don't know what fight the corner was watching.
Meldrick Taylor was not going to back down from Chavez. He was not going to give Chavez the satisfaction of making him fight in a manner not befitting a Philadelphia fighter.
Touch glove.
If you're a fight fan, get ready for 3 minutes of high drama now, as a desperate and determined Julio Cesar Chavez tries to take out a fading and battered Meldrick Taylor, who has completely dominated him through most of the fight.
Early in round 12, the only question on everybody's mind was, can Taylor finish the fight on his feet? If he does, he wins.
2 minutes to go. Maybe 2 minutes left in Julio Cesar Chavez's historic unbeaten streak.
It was like watching someone leading the Boston Marathon for 25 miles and they're falling apart.
That is a tired Meldrick Taylor slipping to the canvas.
Can this guy just get to the finish line?
Both of Taylor's eyes are closing. The blood continues to flow from his nose and his mouth, but if he stands up, he wins.
I do remember feeling that the sand was running out of Taylor's hourglass.
So I'm watching, and I'm thinking, is this kid going to be able to finish? But there it was, 25 seconds left in the round. You know who was winning the fight, and all of a sudden,
If he gets up, he probably wins the fight. I can't believe it.
Unbelievable! Richard Steele stopped the fight with fewer than 5 seconds to go. You're going to watch Lou Duba go crazy now. You're going to watch Lou Duba go absolutely berserk. This is one of the most unusual calls by a referee in the whole history of the sport.
5 seconds left. I cannot believe they stopped that fight.
I was shocked when Steele stopped the fight.
The official time will be 2:58 of the 12th round. He knocked him out with 2 seconds left.
What are you doing stopping this fight? You're giving a victory away. This guy's earned the right. He's a champion. He got up. What are you doing stopping the fight?
Richard, you described the end of the fight and why you stopped it.
Well, Larry, I stopped it because, Meldrick had took a lot of good shots, a lot of hard shots.
when that famous right hand that Julio Cesar Chavez landed, he went down like there was no more life in him. He got up. He pulled himself up. And I asked him twice, "Are you all right? Are you all right?"
You okay? You okay?
And he could not continue.
I don't care about the time. When I see a man that has enough, I'm stopping the fight.
It was hard initially to step back and really look at what had happened. One guy got assaulted at the end is what happened. So should they have stopped the fight? Yeah, they should have stopped the fight.
I examined Meldrick right after the fight, sent him to the hospital. Meldrick had a facial fracture. He was urinating pure blood. His face was grotesquely swollen. This was a kid who was truly beaten up to the face, the body, and the brain.
You rarely see guys that world-class caliber beaten so decisively to the point where their bodies are utterly gone. Once it's beaten out of you, it's gone forever.
Chavez would remain unbeaten for the next 21 fights before finally losing in 1994. Meldrick Taylor never truly recovered.
Meldrick Taylor lost everything that night. He didn't just lose a title belt. He was never going to be Meldrick Taylor again.
In the years following the loss to Chavez, Taylor's life and career propelled into a downward spiral, marked by diminished skills inside the ring, financial and legal problems outside of it, and most worrisome, this.
Oh, it's funny not to me because the media wrote bad things about me. When my name said I was washed up.
Today at 36, Taylor continues to fight, despite evidence that he shouldn't.
Taylor back in 1992 lost my title, but
Meldrick is the classic great champion that won't quit. Someone that continued on with his career as best he could, but who shows all the evidence of chronic brain injury.
You just don't see many better fights. Skill, will, close competition, bizarre circumstances, strong personalities. That fight had it all.
It turned out to be a great fight and really a great moment in my life. I never regretted what I did.
It was as barbaric as it was beautiful. It was probably the best fight of the decade.